Good morning and welcome to the Hodge Pack Sports Life and everything in between right here on 106.9 The Country. We are down in the Mall of Abilene, our Potosi Live studios, as the mall walkers start rolling through. We're glad that you're with us this morning again. Josh is in a deer blind somewhere enjoying probably some rain, and Misty will be here a little bit later on, but we got a jam-packed show for you. Another great week of sports, another great week for the big country. As some folks were in Jerry World this weekend, and Hodge was in Jerry World, getting to enjoy the state football championships at AT&T, and I'll talk a little bit about that experience a little bit later on. But we got a lot to cover. The Cowboys with a big win over the Philadelphia Eagles, and a huge game coming up on the road to try to continue to earn the respect of everybody, and proving to everyone that still doubt the Cowboys and still doubt Dak Prescott. And again, the video game level continues to grow as the gauntlet of the schedule that we talked about that began with the Seattle Seahawks at home, and of course last week the Philadelphia Eagles as well. But we'll talk about all that. Again, Misty will be in a little bit later, and we'll talk about how the Cowboys, again, great job against the Eagles. Dak really stepping up, the defense stepping up, and really not separating themselves. Made a huge statement Sunday Night Football at home, continuing the win streak for the Dallas Cowboys. But again, huge game coming up this week, and we'll talk about that as well. But again, we're brought to you by Loud Landing Cattle, where you can get your Hodge Pack, order it, add some cheese sticks to it. Fantastic. So head over to Loud Landing Cattle. We're also going to have Cody Coyle from Big Country Blitz will join us on our Pest Patrol phone line. That's where our guests join us on our Pest Patrol phone line each and every week. And so we'll talk to Cody and his experience of being at AT&T and just seeing Westbrook, Gordon, of course, Benjamin bringing home a state championship, as well as Albany, and talk about that experience and just kind of the impact that the big country left. Of course, last year, Hawley, Albany, Westbrook, and Benjamin winning last year. And so we'll talk about that with Cody Coyle as his long run of covering, again, Big Country Blitz. Cody Coyle does a great job covering high school football for you and us across the big country. So we'll have Cody Coyle join us after our first break. And then at the end of the show, we're going to have today, if you've noticed, again, of course, 106.9 The Country Giant plays all the great music. And of course, Outlaws and Legends is coming up 2024. Of course, they're up for Festival of the Year. Greg Austin up for Personality of the Year. Of course, check out, we'll get all this, go to our Facebook page, 106.9 The Country Giant. Go vote for them. Red Dirt Proud. And of course, Potosi Live for venue year. But 8:50, we will have Mark Powell join us on our Pest Patrol phone line, talk about the exciting 2024 Fest. Of course, Outlaws and Legends coming March 31st and April 1st. And so we'll get those dates. Anyway, Outlaws and Legends, Mark Powell, give us a little preview. Obviously, not the lineup. The lineup will be released at 10 o'clock today. But Mark Powell will join us today as well. And so let's dive into our Lawrence Hall headline report. A lot of stuff going on this week. Again, tons of sports. The NBA's rolling. Major League Baseball, big news with Shohei Ohtani. And of course, last night, Thursday Night Football. Let's dive into Thursday Night Football. 63-21, the Las Vegas Raiders destroy, and that 63-21 is a very friendly 21. It was 42-0 at half. 49-0 in the third quarter. I had tweeted if it would have been a six-man game in about 2 minutes, it had been over. People would have gone straight to the slot machines and the casinos. But last night, 63-21. And again, just a tough loss. A lot of people, of course, Antonio Pierce trying to prove to himself that maybe he deserves that job in Las Vegas. Not Jimmy Garoppolo, not at all. Aiden O'Connell, 4 touchdown passes, 248 yards, and just dominating. And again, this is a team that last week scored 0. They lost to the Minnesota Vikings in Vegas, dome, controlled environment, no weather, no issues, scored 0 points, only gave up 3. Normally, when you give up 3 points in the NFL, you're winners. Not last week, but the Las Vegas Raiders bounced back, scoring 63 points against the Los Angeles Chargers. Again, the Chargers did not have Justin Herbert. Easton Stick was the starting quarterback last night again. And maybe the most important position, and I threw this out and I'll put it to you, those that are on listening to us again. We appreciate you. 106.9 The Country Giant, KLGD1069.com, or head over to the HodgePackSports.com and you can watch us as well. But I threw it out there. Is the backup quarterback, we've seen it this year as probably as most ever in a year of injuries. You see injuries happen all the time. You've got quarterbacks go down, you have running backs go down, but this has been the year where the backup quarterback has been huge. So send us a text, 972-244-3953. And again, that's 972-244-3953. Is the backup quarterback position maybe the most difficult or to fill and one of the most important spots to fill? We've got the Cleveland Browns on backup number 4, and so much confident they signed Joe Flacco to an incentive contract that they're going to make the playoffs possibly with their last, a guy that was on the couch a few weeks ago. But last night, Easton Stick, again, did not play very well, lost 63-21. And then last night, of course, Brandon Staley, that's been the big talk of Brandon Staley. Will he be the coach after it's all over? And I was putting out there that there's a real good chance that, good night almighty, there's the rain coming in. Hear the rain coming. Anyway, so last night, Brandon Staley losing 63-21. I threw out, is there a chance that he may not get on the plane when it's over last night? And this is what he had to say. Again, Brandon Staley, head football coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Don't know how long that's going to be the case. He was asked, are you going to be the coach? I don't know the answer to that. Do you think you should be? He says yes. And when I start thinking about that, I don't ever anybody want to lose their job, ever. But unfortunately, in that profession, whether it's in the high school level, the college level, the NFL level, but even more so the NFL level, you are there to win football games, and ultimately they want you to win championships. And it doesn't help his cause when he has one of the best quarterbacks that some people think are in the league in Justin Herbert. No, Justin Herbert's hurt right now, but he's had Justin Herbert, and the success has not been there. And the other frustrating part at 63-7 or 6-21, he is a defensive guy, and they've not looked real good. So the Los Angeles Chargers is a job that I think could be really good. A lot of folks talk about Jim Harbaugh being the man for that job because he's been successful with quarterbacks. He was successful in San Diego, then went to Stanford, took Colin Kaepernick, and again, not an elite player, but took them to the Super Bowl. And so Jim Harbaugh's a lot of talks. And another guy that's a talk for that job is Bill Belichick. Last week at Army-Navy game, Rob Kraft is on the set, and they're talking, him and Pat McAfee, about, we know you have a tough decision to make. We know what's coming. But all that is, and the other guy that's not looking good in that is Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is the Everybody thought he was the man, the myth, the legend. And listening to one of the Unsportsmanlike with Canty and Cohen and Michelle Smallmorton, they were talking about go ahead and let go Brandon Staley now and see what Kellen Moore can do next 3 weeks. See what Kellen Moore can do over the next few weeks, and maybe he is your guy. But I really still think that, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be Kellen Moore. I think Jim Harbaugh will be the next coach in Los Angeles. So Los Angeles Chargers, again, lose last night 63-21. Antonio Pierce trying to win that job. Also this week, Shohei Ohtani signs a $700 million deal, 10 years, $700 million. And I'm going to tell you right now, Shohei Ohtani, amazing athlete, amazing baseball player, pitcher, hitter, does all the things for you that you want him to do. But I do not think he is the right man for that job. I mean, not the right man for the job. I don't think he's a $7 million person. I think we've seen that 10-year contracts are not the thing. And here's the deal. Why stay in LA? Okay, right down the road, great exposure, closer to maybe to the Japan side. But he was at the Los Angeles Angels with Mike Trout. There with Mike Trout, and still never made the playoffs, never made any kind of splash. And here's the thing. It's hard to watch that. It's hard to stay up and watch Shohei. Yeah, he may be on Sunday Night Baseball when they start at 6 and it's a little earlier, try to get some day games and watch. But how many people are going to try to make an effort to watch Shohei? And the other guy is Manager Roberts. I know if I'm him, I've got a lot of pressure to find a way to bring a World Series to LA. He won the shortened season, won the World Series then and in Globe Life. But will he be able to do that with Shohei, Mookie Betts, a loaded team? And a lot of pressure is going to be there. I think it was not worth. Now, do I think he's worth $700 million? Okay, I don't know that. But 10 years, he's 29 years old. He's not going to pitch until 2025. So you've got a hitter. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Josh is in a blind. Maybe he can tell me next week that I'm wrong about this. But I do think that spending that kind of money on that one player is going to, I'm going to throw it out there. The Dodgers will not win a World Series in 10 years. They will not win a World Series in 10 years. You can jot that down. December 15th, 2024, 34, between now and 2034, the Dodgers will not win a World Series. And who knows, Shohei may end up playing somewhere else before it's all said and done. But again, Shohei Ohtani signed a $700 million deal with the Dodgers, and we will see what happens now. Everybody else can try to figure out who they're going to sign for those that did not want to, for those that Ohtani did not select. That is our Lawrence Hall headline report. We got a lot more to talk about. Draymond Green, Misty and I will talk about good night. I know not a lot of NBA folks, but what Draymond Green did this past week, did the NBA do the right thing on suspending him indefinitely? I think they did. You've got to learn to grow up. You've got to learn to play better. And, of course, the Bills and the Chiefs, a lot of stuff to talk about. Play of the game, all the things. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But when we come back, we'll have Cody Coyle from the Big Country Blitz on our Pest Patrol phone line. We'll talk about the state championships that have happened. We still got some left. Of course, the big schools playing today and the rest of the weekend. But again, your state champions are Gordon Longhorns. Congratulations, Coach Reed. And of course, Benjamin winning back-to-back state championships. And of course, also Denny Faith. And congratulations to them winning number 360. But when we come back, we'll have Cody Coyle on the Pest Patrol phone line and talk about our time at AT&T. Who that person is. All right. Cody Coyle.
I foresee them trying to come downhill. First and 10, handoff for Hill, and he's got some space out of it.
Hey, Cody, how's it going, man?
Good morning.
Well, it's the benefit of the 11 o'clock game. Probably got you home a little bit earlier yesterday.
Yeah, got home like at 7:30, I think. By the time I was done with writing and everything,
Oh,
and all
wow.
the traffic.
Yeah. I left after the Toller. I left after the Toller game and got home about 12:50.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun though. I mean, that was my first uh, media experience, so that was kind of cool, and
Yeah.
hopefully to do a little bit
Can't
more.
believe Color got whooped so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just couldn't get rolling, and I think if 20 catches that long pass and maybe sets up a little bit of a chance to score, a little bit of confidence there would have been good.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely a tough one. Of course, that Bussy kid was pretty legit. So,
Yeah, he is.
but anyway, of course I've said all along the worst thing that the UIL did was the Texas Cup a few years ago. But I would like to see Gordon and Benjamin play.
I know. For this year at least, that would be a great game, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't move in. I mean, now between now and football, you're just selling ads and taking a break. You don't do basketball or anything, right?
No, I don't really
Okay.
cover basketball or
Right.
anything. I do some games on the radio for various places, but yeah, big
Okay.
country blitz wise, no.
Right. Okay. All right. We got one more commercial and we'll be ready to roll.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Try. I'm on the phone. I told you to hurry.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, Sports Life and everything in between. As you heard us coming back, man, the myth, the legend, Adam Hill, toting in the first time yesterday for the Albany Lions that led them on to their second straight state championship. And on the scene that day, I wasn't there that day, but on the scene that day and taking care of the big country football wise all across the big country. Joining us on our Pest Patrol phone line with Big Country Blitz, Cody Coyle. Cody, it was a big day for you the last couple of days in the big country. We appreciate you taking the time this morning to kind of talk about what we've seen the last 2 days there in Jerry World. Well, let's talk about day one again. Of course, it was fun. I put in my credentials and went and got to experience that from the media side. Just shout out to the UIL for allowing not a ton of people, but a number of people to go cover their teams and be a part of a great day. And some will be there all week, of course. And that's courtesy of Bally's Facebook page. That video and that highlight of Hill scoring the first touchdown, but just the UIL doing a good job, and of course, Bally's the combination of providing this product for the players, the fans in AT&T, but those at home as well.
Yeah, and we heard from the coaches after the game. They loved being there at Jerry World. Even the six-man guys who were far away from Arlington. I can't remember the coach. One of them said something about they said play the game in Abilene. Well, no, we want to play here with all the 11-man schools, and I think it was a great time. It's always awesome to see. You look up in the stand and you're like, wow, I didn't know that many people lived in Westbrook or Gordon or whatever. And basically, anyone who's ever had any ties or went to school there, they come to support their teams, and it's fun to see so many fans of even the smaller schools up there at the state championship game.
Well, and again, our Big Country Electric My Town segment brought to you by Big Country Electric Cooperative, 3 amazing offices, and we're highlighting not only programs, players, and coaches, but also the Big Country Blitz. Again, check bigcountryblitzout.com, Facebook, follow them on all the socials. But Cody, let's talk about game one. I told people all week I thought the game of the week might be Westbrook and Gordon. And Westbrook and Gordon kind of battled. It got 16, and I really thought the turning point of that game was the missed extra point. And then when that happened, it kind of just, from then, the dominoes started to fall. And of course, Gordon's loaded. Westbrook, a very good team, trying to win 3 in a row. But I thought that was kind of the turning point, and Gordon never looked back to Reed and Longhorns.
Yeah, it's funny how those extra points come back to bite you, especially in the six-man game with the kicks being worth 2. If the other team has a good kicker, then you're just in the hole from the get-go. If you can't get those 2s, then they certainly add up. But you're right, Gordon is absolutely loaded. They have a whole lot of speed, and not that Westbrook does it, but Westbrook's more of a running, pounded out kind of offense. And when they fell behind to the quick strike Gordon guys, they were in trouble. And Gordon scored on the first play of their drive, I think, 3 times, scored on the second play once, on the third play twice, and they had a pick 6, and it just kind of snowballed downhill for Westbrook once they fell behind late in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Coach Reed, again, has had some great success at Rural, and, of course, winning at Throckmorton, and now winning a state championship there in Gordon, his hometown. And we mentioned Matlock trying to win number 3, but, again, a great year for the Westbrook Wildcats. It's, there's only one state championship that gets to be taken home in each classification. And again, congratulations to Westbrook. And then the next 6-man game, again, of course, all eyes were on Grayson Rigdon. And rightfully so. There was one time he was running around back, and I thought it looked like I was watching Tecmo Bowl, and he was going to throw it from end zone to end zone. But again, Rigdon breaking the record, another big win, 82-34. And I thought it was interesting. Coach Hayes talking about they felt like the bullseye was on their back for 365 days out of the year.
Yeah, he did say that. And there's always since Rigdon played at Strong his freshman year and then moved to Benjamin, everybody's always wondering if they're going to move again and stuff. And I know that's probably some of what he was talking about, whether or not they would have him this year. And well, it did, and they're certainly glad because he's one of the best 6-man players of all time and one of the quickest, shiftiest guys I've seen, regardless of what classification they're at in a very long time. He scored 6 touchdowns, over 200 yards. Rushing, threw 3 touchdown passes, forced a couple of fumbles. I kind of thought he should have been the defensive MVP too, but he did earn the offensive MVP honors. And not just him, Benjamin's a very good team with Coach Hayes' sons, and they made a huge impact as well to help the Mustangs go back to back.
And that's one of the things that Coach Hayes talked about in his press conference was how there was a ton of guys that didn't even see the field last year that had to step up and contribute this year. And so congratulations to them. But it was very impressive to see how, and again, that we hear about that with the programs, whether it's Gordon, Westbrook, Albany, these guys just kind of reload. And when you're creating programs like that, it allows you to continue to get better. And talked about in Gordon, Coach Reed, and I think it's huge at the 6-man level to even have those good scout teams to go against. And it's just a pretty cool deal to hear how you continue to reload, even at places like Benjamin that Coach Hayes talked about.
Right, and yeah, that's certainly an advantage of having enough people to practice against, and not just practicing 6 against air or 6 against 1 or 2, and having to bring coaches in to hold it down on that.
Well, and the last game that I got to help cover was the Toller Timpson game. Of course, all the eyes were on Boosie, and he had his A&M sticker on the back. Bussy, he had his A&M sticker on the back, so it looks like that's where he's heading. But he lived up to the hype as well. I did not. Breaking news right there from Big Country Blitz, the LSU gloves. I was up in the press box with a guy, and he said, "Well, I noticed that A&M," and he was disappointed that he didn't pick LSU. And so maybe that is in the picture. So good call there, Coach. I did not notice that. So he had the LSU gloves on.
He did, yeah.
Nice. And so Cody, let's talk about that game again. I've got the connections to Toller with Coach Keith Mullins and Jeremy Mullins, the head coach there, and they just never could get rolling. First half, they had time of possession, was good, and had some drives, but could never convert on the third down. And of course, Timpson was starting to score quick. But just what was your take? You watched a lot of football, Rig Bussy kid, but really that kid, he's going to be pretty special probably down the road.
Yeah, regardless of what classification two-way school he's coming from, he's going to make an impact for sure. And just his speed and the speed of the Timpson team in general, that 97 for touchdown pass, I thought they were that tackle him at the 30 and the 40 and the 50. I thought they had a shot at him all the way down the field. They just pulled away and ran away and got into the end zone. He kind of reminds me, Bussy does a little bit of, you may remember Rashawn Hall from Fremont. He led Fremont to back-to-back state titles, went on to return kicks and played at A&M a little bit. But just domination at a two-way level, and Bussy has been that guy for a few years, and he finally got his team to actually win the state championship and make it this year and get past the Refugerios of the world who seem to make the state every year.
Yeah, and again, they won big, 49-7. And then yesterday, the big win for the Albany Lions and Coach Denny Faith, winning a second state championship for him. And his press conference was really cool. Almost a little emotional, talking about why he does what he does. But again, Adam Hill, another big day, 132 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Also had touchdowns receiving. But the Albany Lions just, again, reloading, going back, but just winning 360 games for Coach Faith. Just another great program in not only in the big country, but in the state of Texas. And again, Coach Faith winning state championship number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was on the field last year when they won it the first time for Coach Faith, and it was, joyous jubilation. And this time they were happy, of course, but it seemed a little bit more subdued, kind of like, hey, this was a business trip. This was our goal the whole year, and we believed in ourselves, and we were able to get the job done. I mean, Mark, high-powered offense, 50-plus points a game, probably held to 200 yards. I mean, they just really couldn't get anything going. And I know their coach said that their 2 best guys, the quarterback and the halfback, were playing a little injured, and I'm sure that played a key part of it. But that Albany defense is just on another, especially at the two-way level, just the way that they hit hard play after play and get after the guys running up to the line of scrimmage. Adam Hill said that I think their goal or their motto was no air and suffocate them, and they kind of did that for sure, because Mark couldn't get anything going. And it's just awesome to see Coach Faith, such a great man, and does it the right way, and able to pick up another state championship. And of course, he would say after the game whether he's going to come back for number 3.
Yeah, and again, that's one of the things that was the big talk. Do you win and go out like Peyton Manning? Do you end it? And of course, I'm sure there's a lot of, I don't know how you replace that guy. We saw that with Coach Sanford. Coach Martin did it. But, he's kind of like the 2A version of Coach Sanford. A lot of the same staff has been around Coach Faith a long time, and it's really good to see him. Again, you mentioned just a great guy, great program. And it's funny to think, it's been about a few years ago, they thought, well, maybe this guy's not it. And sure enough, Coach Faith is it, and now a 2-time state champion as well. Cody, so what does it look like for Big Country Blitz? We got about a minute left. Your season's kind of over. A lot of the ESPN guys, they go on a big vacation. How do you excel and breathe after a long year that began well into the summer?
I still have a lot of pictures to edit and look at from this weekend, and then work on my all Big Country team. I don't really do a team, but I pick like an MVP from each class of kids. So I have a few things to work on in the big end of the year article to kind of wrap everything up. And last year, of course, we had so many state champions and still have two from the area this year. So pretty awesome. You see some of those meets and Midland, Justin and Amarillo and Lubbock. They've been working on basketball season for a while, so we're lucky to be able to cover football for as long as we do every year. And yeah, I'll just start working on the old magazine for next year pretty soon, probably. Hanging out with the kiddos while they're off school.
Well, Cody, again, I appreciate the coverage you provide us throughout the year through social media. Of course, the Big Country Blitz magazine, be on the lookout. If you want to advertise in it, be on the lookout for Big Country Blitz again for 2024. Cody, appreciate it. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, that's Cody Coyle, Big Country Blitz. When we come back, Misty's in the house. We'll be back. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hi.
Hello.
This looks so good. I rolled up and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
What is all this from?
That's from Mezzanine.
That's so nice. Yeah, no, this looks great. So great. Sweet.
So, trying to figure out where to go with it. I want to that Draymond Green thing.
Yeah, I'm ready. We can talk about him. Yeah.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall and Abilene.
Oh, when they brought that?
Lawrence Hall and Abilene has been the place to find the best in Chevrolet.
No, it looks great.
That is still
So good.
great products and great service too. So the next time you need a new car,
I feel like a little kid, like I need a phone book. I'm like barely over the board. Like on the camera, I'm just like, I'm just a little kid. Look at us go, no burritos this morning. Although we have all the pastry.
Oh, I had sausage.
Oh, you lie.
No, I didn't lie. That's true story.
I mean, we're close to the beginning of the year. Are you going to be one of those that does a New Year's resolution to lose weight? Get healthy in 2024. No, you're like, man, that looks good though.
Favorite thing about my street?
I put a lip plumper on. My lip is on fire.
I'm not even going to tell you what I think a lip plumper might be.
Plumper with a B. Lip clumper. No, plumper.
Plumper's not making it any better.
Oh, so funny. Yeah, look at the camera. Like, I'm just like, I'm like right over the. This is good though. It's funny. Oh, there you go. Give that a phone book. Look at you. You're so smart. Now I'm taller. I saw my mall walker guy. I'm going to get to know him. He's the one with the little headphones that comes in.
Like when you say your guy.
Like, I'm friends with him, but he doesn't know he's friends with me. Yeah, he just walked by a while ago. So cute.
So at about 8:45, 8:50ish, we're going to call Mark Powell
Oh, okay.
because they're unveiling the
Yes.
lineup at 10. Just a little bit of a preview.
Okay, cool.
Are you kidding me? Next year, we need a plan on, because I think if we do it all right, we can get all three of us credentials next year for the state team.
Yes. No, that would be awesome.
I threw it in on Monday, was able to get off work, got approved. It was cool. I mean, got to be, yeah. And so what we'll do is we'll tie together we'll talk more NFL in the bottom at the 8 o'clock hour.
Uh-huh.
but I think we could tie the Draymond Green and how Patrick Mahomes acted.
Oh yeah.
Hodge, Misty, Josh in a blind, not here. We're assuming he's in a blind. He said he was hunting. We don't
He's
know.
probably sleeping.
He is probably
He's
sleeping.
probably just sleeping
He
in.
probably drove with his college buddies, got to where he was going, realized was it raining when you came in?
Yes, it's a little misty out there.
There you go, a little misty out there, a lot of misty in here, and her plumper or whatever, the lip plumper or whatever she said, whatever that
My
means.
lip is on fire.
And so anyway, we've got the windows open. We're here in the mall. We've got some mall walkers going to town. Cannot wait. Again, January, you're not going to miss our mall walker of the week. We're excited about that. And so, but we are rolling again, brought to you by Lotto Land and Cattle. Head over to Lotto Land this weekend, get the Hodge Pack, order it, add some cheese sticks. It is fantastic. So, Misty, it's good to be here. Are you? I can't tell. Are you off today shopping?
That's a bad thing.
No, I don't.
So we were allowed to wear Christmas sweaters and like ugly Christmas sweaters, but all of the ugly Christmas sweaters I have are not bank appropriate. So I had to
Are
go.
they public appropriate?
Yes, but you know, like the snowman, like Frosty's like drear, you know, like I can't wear that to work. So I had to go with Merry vibes.
Well, Mary
And my
Bob's-
earrings, my tree earrings.
There you go. Well, I knew as soon as you said we are allowed to, that means you're working.
Yes, I am.
Because there's
I
a stretch. There's some Fridays that you're not, and we.
And I have makeup on. You can always know if I'm working if I have makeup on. If I come in here looking ratchet, then I'm probably not going to work.
Well, there you go. So she is going to work. So if you need anything, head over because we'll move into the Coleman County State Bank hour number 2 a little bit later. But again, we are rocking and rolling. Don't forget, again, thank you to Big Country Blitz's Cody Coyle. A great week. Just a little brief on Albany winning state championship number 4, but number 2 in the Denny Faith era. And it's just a good thing when you see the schools and, you know, everybody plays for that. And unfortunately, somebody's got to lose. But just a good first 2 days of state high school football. For some, there were blowouts and they didn't think they were any good. But of course, 6-man, both of them were 45 games. And one of the guys in the press conference, was able to go. They get walk-off, almost like walk-off home runs. You know, they can have a walk-off in the third quarter, make it a 45-point game, and it'd be over. And just both of them were Gordon and Benjamin. But just a cool experience for those guys. And it was cool that we've had Coach Matlock from Westbrook, Reed from Gordon, Toller, and Coach Faith. All of them have been on the Hodge Pack and, of course, winning state championships. But just a really cool experience. I didn't get that as a coach. We went to the regional tournament, didn't get it as a player. Just don't even know what that experience would be like.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, as a student athlete, I wish I had that experience. But yeah, no, kudos to all of them. And yeah, it's super cool that we've had them all on the show. And so, yeah, congratulations to everybody that made it and all of the winners and just all around a great time.
And again, of course, continuing on today, you have games today as well. Gunner winning last night, their second state championship in a row, and Malakoff winning as well. So that's what's happened the first 2 days and day 3 today at Jerry World. And want to jump in, Misty. One of the things that's happened, and we did put it in our alarm, so I had it on our report. I didn't get to it because we were talking about Did you watch any of the football game last night?
Very brief. It wasn't much of one. So, yeah, very, very brief.
Oh, it was terrible.
It was just, yeah. It was like,
Now,
what in the world?
And again, I do not condone violence at all, but last night was a beatdown, 63-21, and the 21 was very generous. But one of the things that happened this past week was Draymond Green doing dumb things, and we're going to compare it to even Patrick Mahomes kind of going overboard. But this is what happened this week with Draymond Green when they played the Phoenix Suns. Now, I'll share the video on our Facebook page. But this past week, the Suns and the Warriors were playing, and Draymond Green, I can't say the guy's name, but waylays. Have you seen the video?
Oh, yeah, I have
Waylays
seen
on
it.
this guy, and Draymond Green has been suspended 20 times. The only person that's been more is Rasheed Wallace, who's 29 times. Now this is 21, I believe, for Draymond. But he just waylays upside the head of this Phoenix Suns player. And they've come out, and of course he got chunked. And then they came out after the game and saying, "All right, Draymond, Steve Kerr's like, we've got to figure out, what we need to do. Draymond's got to get, he's got to be control himself." And he's become a problem. The NBA came out this week and said that he is suspended indefinitely, but he can still practice with the team. And in the press conference the next day, Draymond says, "Well, I was trying to sell a call." You're not trying to sell a call. You flop. And he said, "Well, I'm not going to apologize for something I meant to do, but I did not mean to do that. I apologize." Da, 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 da. First of all, if you can't control your body that way, you need to get something checked, because that's almost like a Tourette slap. Number two, there's no way that he did not do. I mean, there's nobody in the country picking up what he's laying down. Everybody's saying there's no way you hit him on purpose, and now he's suspended indefinitely. And I do agree with Coach Kerr in saying we've got to figure out there's more to this. I mean, there's a lot of inner issues.
Oh yeah, we've got some anger management
that
issues
you've got to figure out. And so they're going to let him practice. Let me ask you this: the suspension he choked out Rudy Gobert a couple months ago, and got 5 games for that. And they go from 5 to indefinitely, and we'll try to figure out when we bring you back. The Golden State Warriors are kind of the team that used to be the one everybody looked to and wanted to be like Klay Thompson and like Steph Curry. And Draymond Green plays hard and all these, but he's gotten to where he's become this villain.
And he's a liability at this point. I mean, for his team.
And for anybody that's playing against him.
Right. Yeah. I would not. I mean, somebody's going to get really, really hurt. And I mean, indefinitely, obviously, we know is an unspecified period of time. He's, what's going to hurt him is obviously he has a history of this behavior. And, I think about what's going to happen to him moving forward. Say that they don't let him come back. The legacy that he's leaving, he's got that reputation, of that he cannot control himself. And so, whatever your aspirations were for after you retired from the league, now guess what? They don't want you on their show. You've got that bad reputation. And that, to me, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, in my opinion, I think he should be done. Like, how many more times are we going to get to Rasheed's number? What was it, 29? I mean, or is that the standard? Okay, we can get up to 30. It's no big deal. The NBA really needs to get a hold of this, in my opinion. And obviously, the NBA has gone downhill the last few years. I mean, we barely cover it. It's just not really a thing for us as big sports fans. And I used to watch the NBA, but it's really gone downhill in what they will allow. And this is a perfect example. I mean, it's a privilege to be an athlete at the professional level, making all of this money, and you just crap it away. I mean, but I do think about the legacy that he's leaving, and I'm like, bro, people are looking at you and it's not in a good way.
Well, and I think that the NBA, all professional leagues want their image to be good.
Right.
They want their image. Hey, our guys are good. Our guys are ambassadors in the community. Our guys are people that our kids can look up to, and all those things. And one of the things I was listening to, people were calling into some other radio shows that I was listening to, and they said, well, what happened to the Bill Laimbeer day? Well, back in the 80s and the 90s, it was pretty physical, but it was never, I mean, yes, there was, you may go for a layup and get forearm shivered into the stands and all those things. But the game is different.
Right.
You can't
compare it to back then.
It's no different than the NFL. You could light somebody up when they were going for a ball, and it didn't matter how you hit them, didn't matter what you did, but you can't do that anymore. Because if you do, you're going to get flagged, you're going to get fined, you're going to get tossed. And the other thing is, these people want to make sure, for the most part, I think the other reason you see some of that scale back is because they know if I do get hurt in a way, my career may be gone.
Mhm.
And my career's gone, the dollars are gone. Not everybody makes $700 million. Not
Right.
everybody makes
That's what I'm
$100
saying.
million.
It's a privilege.
And so but even the guy, let's say this cat here, let's say the punch landed in a way that allowed him or made him not play anymore.
Mhm.
Let's say, depending on the year you're in the league or how much money you've made, yes, it's a lot of money. The league minimum, you and I could probably find a way to live off of. But in that, the amount of money that could be made when you get hurt like that now may get eliminated. The other thing that I struggle with is how do you, and you mentioned it, you ought to be done.
What do you think? What's
What-
your opinion? What's indefinite to you in this situation? What do you think should be done?
Well, and I don't know how you testing in a practice situation, because if you're a rageaholic and you know that this person can click that rage like that in a certain setting, and I'm trying to get him off of that and stop doing that, how long before we figure out when can we put you in that situation? Can you handle it again?
Right.
I don't see him coming back. Well, honestly, Misty, I don't know what that answer is, because how do you measure that? How do you measure, you know what?
Yeah, you're ready now.
All right, we're going to throw you back in the deep end.
Right.
We're going to throw you back in the water. We're going to put you behind a car again. You've had a fender bender. All right, we think you're ready to drive again. And so I don't know what that is. I do think his teammates have a little bit of responsibility, but if Draymond Green doesn't take the responsibility, it's not going to matter. Because if he thinks there's not an issue, that I didn't do that on purpose, I was
Well,
just
he's not accountable. I mean, whatever he said, I was just trying to sell the call. Bull crap. Like
right.
that's so to me, there's no accountability. He's still the same Draymond. This is a pattern. I just think we're done here.
So you would not bring him back?
I would not.
Would you set him out?
Not on my team.
Would you set him out a year and bring him back 24-25?
I don't think so. I think that I would not want that type of behavior and animosity on my particular team. I could do without him.
James Flores, and I think that's what Coach Carter's first name was in the movie Coach Carter. Coach Ken Carter is the only person that can save Draymond.
Yes.
And that's probably accurate.
Think he needs to move on.
Well,
the Warriors need to let him go.
Well, in winning in the NBA, and we've said it all along, winning in any level is hard. When you have to deal with stuff that you shouldn't have to deal with.
And he's cost them a lot.
It makes it even harder.
Mm-hmm.
Klay Thompson still trying to get his contract. Steph Curry's just still dribbling, making threes.
Bless him.
What do I do here?
Yeah.
And so Draymond Green, again.
Disaster of the week goes
disaster
to you, babe.
Of you. You still don't beat the Hermley School Board, but
Yeah.
you are the disaster of the week. When we come back, we're going to open up Misty's bag and have a little fun.
Yeah.
Morning, what's up, Brad from Post? I just don't.
So if he got 5 games like a month ago or 2 months ago, whenever he choked him out, I don't know.
And I'm assuming.
I mean, you were a coach. Would you want that loose cannon on your team? I mean, what would you do as the coach? Would you be like, okay, let's try one more time? I mean, this is obviously a history. Like, you had put that in the notes. Like, if you're the head coach, how would you handle it?
I would still.
It's tough.
There's some benefits of having him around. I mean, you hope the teammates are. You could tell a little bit, and maybe you turn up the practices a little bit of intensity, not physical wise, but are we going to get after it? How do you handle it?
Yeah.
Because he punched Jordan Poole, who was a teammate of his before, and
yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call for sure.
Well, and then definitely,
I just think he's a liability, and he's already cost him so much. Like, just move on.
Mike Dunleavy, the general manager, says, I can't guarantee you there won't be an incident. I can just say we will continue to do the right thing to help him. I think we've done a decent job in the past, and we'll continue to work through it. There are a lot of parties involved. The biggest thing here is, to me, is not the punishment. It's helping and giving assistance. Well, to me, they're looking and they're saying, like, Draymond, you've got an issue.
Yeah,
got
like
an
you need to
anger
go
problem.
to anger
Like-
management classes.
Like we need to get you.
Right.
Not
They're
in a-
trying to fix them.
We
in
don't need
that
to put you in a
regard.
drug rehab. We need to put you in a rage rehab and
Right.
figure out what do we do with this to make you better. Because here's the deal, from a talent perspective, I mean he's really good.
Right.
I mean, like right now they are. I mean, they're outside of the top 10. They're 10-14 on the year.
Yeah. But yeah, can you imagine if that he did something to that guy's neck or and then he's out? I mean, it's just bad. And I'm sorry, it's just so funny that he's calling it a flop because like nobody flops like this and like completely turns your body and with your hand out to like, it's just hilarious. He's so stupid. So dumb.
The time has changed and it's time to hit the range. At Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf, come relax on the patio, hit golf balls on the driving range, play 18 holes, and go enjoy a delicious meal, cold drinks with friends. Head to 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. You'll be glad you did.
I think that's how the Los Angeles Chargers felt when they walked into Las Vegas. The car was upside down when they got there. As the Los Angeles Chargers again lose last night in Thursday Night Football, 63-27, and that's actually it could have been 100-27. And again, they just got destroyed. Brandon Staley, will he be the head coach? I kept thinking there was a chance he might not get a plane ride back to LA.
No kidding.
And just get to stay at the Bellagio or something with Alan from Hangover. But and again, the state champions, congratulations to Gordon Longhorns, the Benjamin Mustangs, and the Albany Lions winning state championships this past week at Jerry World. Congratulations to them. And again, we're still jamming out to the car. Got broke down. I like it. Love it. All right, now it's time. We're going to open up. Misty's back.
Yes, love it. Yes, my bag. It's time, y'all. So I've been getting a lot of listener emails lately, Christmas themed questions, because obviously it's Christmas time. But I'm going to pick a different one because this one I read it and I was like, this is funny. And also sponsored by Mulligan. So get on out there. They've been busy with all the Christmas holidays and our parties going on.
And again, they'll have the high school state championship games on, so you can go check it out there.
Yes, I love that they're showing that. I wish I was off so I could go watch that. But so this is from Carlo 3A's B56. I'm assuming she asks, if you could be best friends with a cartoon character, who would it be and why?
Best friends with a cartoon character.
Very different question, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
We love a good awkward question. That's just weird.
Kind of like superpowers, okay. So cartoon characters, of course, Bugs was pretty witty. I mean, going back, I have to think about when you were in school or kids. I mean, I know you're a little bit younger than I am, but what was cartoon that we watched, because that was a thing. You got up, you watched cartoons. Of course, Bugs Bunny. Of course, Popeye was a cartoon. So what do you think Collins would pick as a kid? That you've seen walk. Because all my friends have kids. It's always Paw Patrol or Lululemon, or not Lululemon, a Cocomelon. Lululemon's close.
Please sponsor us.
Yeah, Lulu. Yeah, you can be. Lulu. We are open.
Yes. I don't know. Collins used to watch. There's a show, and I think it was on Netflix, maybe called Sophia the First, and it was like a little princess girl. It was a blended family, and Sophia and her mom. The mom ended up marrying this prince, and So then they were all blended, and like the sister Amber was like a pain, and I don't know. So she might. There he is. That's my guy. Sorry, y'all, but this is live radio. That's my mall walker that I want to be friends with, and he doesn't know it yet.
He can't wait. Actually, we need
He
to
doesn't
find
know it
we
yet.
need to find a way to get the Hodge Pack into his headphones.
I know, he's the cutest thing ever. He's already broken the headphones. He's perfect. But yeah, I'm gonna find him. I walked in with him a couple times and just said hello. But yeah, we're gonna be friends.
It'll be a moment.
It's gonna be great. But so she probably would pick that, but I have to think like which cartoon character I would pick. Maybe somebody else wouldn't pick for me. Like, I don't know. You might tell me I'm like Marge Simpson, and maybe I want to be Jessica Rabbit.
Well, so it's who we want to be or who we want to hang out with.
Who we want to be best friends with.
Okay. Yeah, you're way closer to the Roger Rabbit than
I
Marge.
mean, she's got big hair.
She has a lot of hair.
She's great.
Yeah. And, anyway, so when you think about hanging out, like, could you imagine hanging out with like the Tasmanian Devil? Like you couldn't catch him. That wouldn't be fun. I think Bugs would be. I mean, to me, Bugs Bunny. The reason I say that is he was always witty, and I think he'd be sarcastically funny. So, like, if you went to a place to hang out and what you would want to say, smart alecky or whatever. I mean, let's face it. He tricked Elmer Fudd a number of times. He tricked Daffy Duck. I think Bugs Bunny would be pretty cool. He would probably be my guy. Bugs,
okay.
And that maybe just showing my age.
I was thinking you might say Eric Cartman from South Park.
Now, well, I could tell you who I wouldn't want to hang out with, and that is Beavis and Butthead. I don't think I would want to hang out with them. I definitely wouldn't want to be best friends. Now, I would become a valedictorian just being around those two.
No kidding, yeah.
But yeah, I think Bugs is going to be mine.
I'm just trying to think. I don't know. I mean, I could be friends with Jessica, but she's a little promiscuous, so I don't know.
All right, let me tweak it this way, since I know they say cartoon character, but like what character? Because there was a period when we were growing up that the cartoons that went from cartoons to we started watching things like Saved by the Bell. We started watching those type of shows. Yeah. So is there a character that you'd want to, not the person, not like, yes, we love Kelly Kapowski, but
yes. I still want to be her when I grow up.
But is there a character, not Mark Paul Gosselaar, but is there a character that was played in a movie or in a sitcom or a show that you watched? Sorry, Carol, we're tweaking a little bit because I didn't watch a whole lot of cartoons. There was a period where cartoons kind of transitioned.
It was like Saved by the Bell, USA High. Did you ever watch USA High?
Yes. So do you know who Grant Cardone is?
Grant Cardone. Mm-mm.
No, was that USA High?
I mean, anyway, I can Google it.
No, so we'll look it up. There was a girl. Grant Cardone's this big multi-billion-dollar real estate guy, sales guy. Anyway, that's new.
I'm looking at the cast. Yes, 1997.
Yes. So let me see it real quick.
Yeah. That's just the cast, but I don't see anybody named Grant.
No. So no, his wife Ellen. Yes, I watched that USA High. Yes, it was good. And then Saved by the Bell, the college years, and all those things.
Yes.
So is there a character that you? That's funny. I did watch that too.
That is funny. I loved you, and it was like around the same time as Saved by the Bell. So you could catch Saved by the Bell, and then you could catch USA High. And yeah, I never wanted Saved by the Bell to end. It was. I mean, Kelly obviously. Like, I was a brunette, still got a little bit of roots underneath, but the blonde is not real. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm an actual brunette. But I mean, who doesn't want to be Kelly Kapowski? That so cute. True. She had the hottest boyfriends because she dated them all. But
well, she really never dated.
Well,
I mean,
I guess
it was her and Zach from the get-go.
Yeah, but there was a little stint with Slater that there was something brewing. But
well, and then she had Jeff from the older guy. That's a whole nother.
I never wanted to be Lisa. No. Jessie, she was just, I don't know, weird out there. I know she went on to do bigger and better things, and everybody was excited about her movies. So I get that.
One movie.
Yeah, she was a one-hit wonder. But yeah, I mean, I think for me it was Kelly for sure. And then obviously huge fan of Zach. But I also like Slater. Like, I don't know that I can pick. Mario Lopez still to this day, like, He's a good looking man.
Yeah,
A
I mean,
good-looking
that's what I
man.
hear.
And
That's
so
what
is Kelly. Well, she's not a man, but
no,
I don't think so.
We're pretty positive.
Anyway,
She's not
yeah, I don't know. Things change. But cartoon character. What about Betty Boop?
Betty
I want to
Boop
be
is-
like a cute, like cartoon character. I mean, I don't want to be like promiscuous.
Wilma,
Too promiscuous. Maybe just a
Flintstone.
little
What
promiscuous.
about Wilma Flintstone or Betty? You have been Betty.
I have been Betty. That's right. I have been Betty. I like Betty. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Jessica Rabbit. Like
There you
she's
go.
just cute and fun and all the things.
Yeah. So Jessica Rabbit, Bugs Bunny, What's Up Doc is that 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. We'll be back. NFL time. The Dallas Cowboys. Man, what a week.
I'm seeing more and more walkers.
Morning, Randy.
Are they looking in here? Like, what are they
Oh, yeah.
doing?
I got away from a guy a while ago.
So how are we going to do the mall walker of the week? Like, we're just going to go randomly and be like, hey,
Ask him to come in.
just come in. Like, can
Because
we interview
none of these can go.
you?
We don't have a walk. We don't have a.
What if they're like, I can't break stride? Like, I'm sorry, but like, this is my moment, but I can't break stride.
Somebody will want to break stride.
I will not break stride for your show. So do they just like bring that just cause?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's so nice.
I almost want to set it out there.
I know. We need to, when we do our 5-year, we need to have some treats like that.
Yeah.
I bet they would do another little tray like that. Be perfect.
All right.
Yeah, that's just so nice.
All right. So when we come back,
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place
I'm
than
gonna post
Lawrence
our-
Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall
the
in
board
Abilene
meeting's
is the
next week.
place to find the best
I know. Which apparently it's gonna suck because they're not gonna, or they're gonna vote it down.
Or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbilene.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years. IU, our customers.
I'm not looking
Have
for
you
it.
enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, and TVs to watch your favorite sporting events.
Oh my gosh, I am so sore.
Make sure you have
My back. I'm getting old.
Check out Potosi
From working out or what?
Yeah, I just,
Potosi Live on
I don't know what I did. I mean, I didn't do anything crazy, but yeah, I'm just super sore. My back.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing.
Are you gonna show up with a knowing is half the battle in Josh's place? Is there anything I need to know?
Good enter to
Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Loan Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us.
Yes, I will have. I can do it knowing half the battle.
Okay, perfect.
They're always trying to food, service, and prices. So we listen to you and have updated menus, bringing back all your favorites like nachos and fajitas.
Oh yeah, and then you're gonna call Mark.
Winner will receive.
I want to hear you say,
Yum, yum.
Hodge
At
Pack.
First Bank and Trust, our story started in 1996 and it continues because of you, our customers, our communities, and our neighbors. We are proud to be a small part of your success.
Yes, I want to know all of these mall walkers. They're so cute.
Have you fill out your? We could do that. We could go through and fill out our picks.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought we were done with picks.
The College Bowl pick 'em.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't done that. This week's been crazy.
All right, so I want to have time.
We also can assist women in hormone replacement therapy. So give us a call, 325-704-5069.
I'm such a bad shopper. The more it's on sale, the more I want it, even if I don't need it.
All right, so we're going to look at last week's game, Cowboys Eagles.
Yes.
Hodge, Mr. Here, rocking and rolling. Time for our 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. Again, 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. Head over to colemanbank.com for your banking needs. And Misty, we talked about cartoon characters in your Misty's bag brought to you by Mulligan's, and we were talking about different characters. Well, one of the things when I think about characters, I think about video games. And when I think about video games, whether it's Mario Brothers or back in the day, Contra, up, down, left, right, BA, select, start, got your 30 men. I think about video games and different ones that were fun to conquer, and you got 31. Well, the Dallas Cowboys have started their video game, if you will, and their first level really started with Seattle. Seattle was the first team that we played with a winning record. Seattle came in on Thursday night. We won. Probably a little closer than we thought the game might be, but Dallas found a way to win and moved on. Well, level 2, if you will, was the Philadelphia Eagles. And last Sunday night, Philly came to town, Sunday Night Football, all the hype, and the Dallas Cowboys got the job done. The first half was really, really good. I thought we had to settle for too many field goals in the second half, but the Dallas Cowboys, for the most part, I felt like dominated that game. I had the privilege of going there that night, was at the game, got to meet Harry Douglas, which was really cool, from Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio, and got a shout out on the radio.
How did that come about? Like, did you recognize him?
Oh, no. So here's how that happened. So, again, I follow folks on Twitter, X now, and I've followed Harry Douglas for a while. He's been on ESPN. He and Jason Fitz, who Jason Fitz has been on the show, they started a show. And then when all the layoffs happened back in June, Jason Fitz is one of the ones that unfortunately wasn't able to stay on with ESPN. Jason's doing great now. He's with Yahoo Sports. Well, so I just started. I've been tweeting, and Freddie and Harry come on in Texas. Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio come on from 2 to 6 our time. And so I've been listening to it, and I'll call in. I've called into that show. I've called into Greeny, and it's just
yeah,
I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
So we're working on getting call-ins. That's one of the goals for 2024. That's neither here nor there. So I started tweeting Harry. Well, he posted that he was going to be in Dallas covering the game Sunday night. And so he throws out this tweet that says, "Hey, I'm going to be in Dallas. Does any of our loyal listeners want to go to dinner Saturday night?" Well, I couldn't Saturday night because I was doing the ballet, as y'all saw. I rocked it. Yeah, I dominated. Good morning, everybody. Rocked.
You look great in a tutu.
I rocked the packages. Anyway, so
oh my.
Yeah, I can tell that story later. And so I told him I couldn't go, but I said, "Are you going to be at the game Sunday?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "I'm going too." So we tweet back and forth, and I said, "I'd love to meet you," or whatever. So he sends me a tweet, says, "Hey, send me your number and where you're sitting." So I don't think anything of it. So I send him my cell, and then all of a sudden he texts me back and says, "Harry Douglas." So Sunday night we're texting back and forth, and he said, "Where are you at?" I said, "Man, we're still pulling in the parking lot." And so we pull in, and he said, "Same here." And then finally he texted me, he said, "Are you at your seats?" And I said, "Yes." And so Harry comes from where his suite is to find me, and we shot the bull for a little bit. We're going to try to get him on the show. He said, "Give me a couple weeks." And
so cool.
And so, but it was really cool to talk to Harry. And actually, if you go back and watch yesterday's, so he's got this thing on Thursdays. I don't know. It's called That Boy Bad. And he does a segment on Get Up on Thursdays. And people send, he does this dance, "That Boy Bad." Anyway, you're welcome, Facebook and YouTube. And so I did that at the state game Wednesday and sent it to him. And so I was on Get Up yesterday doing That Boy Bad. We'll post it on.
Funny.
Yeah. So anyway, but went to the game that night, got to meet Harry. It was really cool. I'm telling you, follow Twitter, follow him at Harry Douglas 3083. Freddie Coleman's good too. But so went to the game, got to meet Harry Douglas, and that was awesome. But the Dallas Cowboys really looked really, really good. And now it's one of those deals that people, and we're going to talk about it. We got a big game this week. but I felt like it's like they won. I think they got some respect. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers are still, to me right now, are the standard in the NFC. They earned that right a few weeks ago when they blew us out.
Yep.
But what I took away from, and again, a couple weeks ago, if we don't false start, if we don't take a sack, if we don't step out of the out of bounds, I think we win that game. But unfortunately, we didn't. But the Cowboys took care of business in a way that maybe even started to create a little doubt in the Eagles' eyes and maybe a little more impression for the Cowboy fans.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had mentioned whenever we were like, what do we want to see against the Eagles? And I said, I want everything to work. Everything worked. O-line, D-line's going hard. They handled it. Gilmore completely shuts down Brown. Ferguson looked good. CD, Dak, I mean, literally everything worked. Everybody did their jobs. Thank you, Jalen Hurts. Turnovers, love it. The Eagles did help us because I don't know what your opinion is, but they just looked like they lacked the urgency and the fire. It was like, I don't know if they just thought, oh, we're going to come in here and no big deal. But I mean, they were playing undisciplined defense, obviously the turnovers, the penalties, but Jalen looked rattled. It was just, he hasn't looked like that, but I don't know what it was, but just the warm up, just everything about the Eagles, it just did not look like the current Eagles, which thank you, I'm glad, but obviously we totally dominated. So I think even if they would have, leveled up, like we say, for that game and brought more urgency, I still think we would have dominated. We were just that on fire and everything was just working. I think our mindset was strong and we just completely dominated. I loved every minute of that game.
I will tell you, the only thing that bothered me a little bit was the second half and the lack of touchdowns.
Yes, I would have liked to. Yeah, exactly. Seen that
because,
too,
and you made a good point, 33-13, and it really wasn't that close. They get the one touchdown off of the Dak fumble with a scoop and score. So the defense held them to 0 points. The other game changer is Aubrey. Aubrey has been a huge.
Yes.
He makes a 60-yarder, 59-yarder in that game, which hopefully down the stretch, if needed, that he has that leg.
We're confident in that.
I do think the things that are crucial, and we'll talk about it here in a moment when we start looking to this week's games. But looking at last week, one of the things again was defensively, they've really stepped up. Yes, Diggs is gone, but we found a way. Gilmore, that was probably the best game he's had.
Yes.
Bland didn't have to have an interception. And so just a really good game. And this is with Mike McCarthy coming off the surgery.
Yeah.
I know he didn't have to play, but still he had to go out there and call plays and be upright and all that. And so I thought it was a really good game, a really good experience. And so great job, Cowboys. And we'll talk about the Dallas Cowboys and the Bills game a little bit later.
How many fans do you think are still kind of teetering? Like, yeah, but we're the Dallas Cowboys and we know what that means. And talking about the playoffs coming up. I mean, do you think this win has kind of swayed them to go, okay, yeah, we're going to be able to go further in the playoffs? Or is it like, we're still the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I think the reason that they're still probably is because of the fact that unless things change and we get some help, like this week, we also need to be big Seattle Seahawks fans. We need Seattle to find a way to, because I think of the next 3 games, Bills on the road, Miami on the road, and the Lions. I think obviously not just because it's the next one. I think the weather-wise, the Bills are on fire. This Sunday's game is huge.
Right.
Because you still have to prove back to that level of video games. Now you're going to the next level, and the next level's on the road. So the reason I think that the still wondering is we've done regular season things good.
Right.
We can't fast forward to the playoffs because we're not there yet. So I still think there's some, and we're kind of built that way because it's kind of like the guy that, or that, maybe not the guy, but the friend that you had that anytime you invited them and they said they were going to come over and y'all were going to meet in Dallas or you're going to meet, but they kept breaking the plans and you've never really got to hang out with them. They're like, well, I'm not getting my hopes up that so-and-so is going to show up. They're probably going to cancel on me before the day. Well, I think that's the way we feel about the Dallas Cowboys right now. Is they've done that. They've let us down in the playoffs. And so I think this week is where you get the chance to say, hey, we are new. We are a different Cowboy. We are a different Dak. This is a different group. So when it comes to, do I think people have changed their minds? Unfortunately, not yet. Because I think they still need to see this week. Because
so if we beat the Bills, does their mind change?
I think the mind changes because now it's a road win against a team that is their backs are against the wall. The Cowboys are going to find a way to win get into the playoffs. There's going to be a lot of things happen in the next 4 weeks for them to not make the playoffs.
Right.
And so I think they want to see, from a Cowboy fan, hey, we can win on the road, because in order to get to where you want to go, in order to get where we will think it's a successful season, is we've got to get to the NFC Championship. And I think if we can get to the NFC Championship, the other thing that we need to hope for is we need a few other losses, because I think one of the most important things we got to find a way is how do we get the playoff games in Jerry World. Undefeated in Jerry World, 15 in a row. How do you get them there? Because we're 3-3 on the road. Obviously lost to the Arizona Cardinals, lost to the Eagles, and lost to the San Francisco 49ers. So you've got to find a way to do that.
If we were playing the 49ers and not the Bills this weekend, how confident are you that we could beat the 49ers? What do you think? Just because they have been so good. Now I'm just like, I'm not worried about the Eagles anymore. Now I'm like, okay, 49ers, are we ready? Could we beat the 49ers if we played them this Sunday?
Well, and I think the other difference that you have in that is that you have the 49ers.
Because I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that this Sunday, if we were playing the 49ers, we could beat them. Right now. With the way that the 49ers.
What if it was at home?
I just don't know, man.
Well,
here's
the other reason I say is I probably agree with you a little bit, is because of the fact when we played them at their place, it wasn't close. When we played the Eagles in Philadelphia, we were 2 or 3 plays away from winning. I mean, you're on the 6, you get the false start, and things just went south. It was kind of like we were talking about in that Gordon Westbrook game, and that extra point missed. Nobody really kind of bounced back from that. When that 6-yard line penalty went backwards, we never really got rolling. So as far as confidence in going to San Francisco coming here, the confidence is, I do think our defense is playing well. You're going to have to stop Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle, and Brandon Ayuk.
And the Cowboys have a dominant game like they did against the Eagles back-to-back weeks. Road or no road. I mean, can they do that? Because we've seen they'll dominate and then they take a step back. And then we dominate, we take a step back. So this week, do we dominate again or do we take a step back?
Well, I think, tell you what, we're going to come back. When we come back, we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at Patrick Mahomes and all the rest of last week. Be back. Week 11. What
Reggie?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Week 14.
Good, sweetheart. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I'll drop the stuff off for Jason at the ball.
This looks so great.
It's coming on.
I came up, walked up, and I was like, oh, we have windows.
Yeah,
I mean, we've always had windows, but like, it looks so good.
Do you know what they do? The box of cups and all that?
I love it.
What they sell.
They're back there somewhere.
She brought all this food. I'm like, could you hand it out to the mall?
Yeah.
I have no idea. She asked when to come back.
Year after year. As your touchstone.
I'll take some of those pictures for the twins. I don't know what that top is. We just got to look for it down.
It's our way of life. Providing the energy our community relies on.
If I had to drop off a dadgum thing for Jason, who's going to come out and get it here in a little while.
That means
Small.
value that goes far beyond energy we provide. It's value. You can't really put a price on it. You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Snyder, and Stanford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Law and Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Law and Abilene has been the place to find the best in Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. That is still
She's a
today.
cute little mall walker.
So the next time you get a new car,
Oh, there's the cups.
Oh, cool.
24/7. Online.com. Go to Abilene's best new car dealer for
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best.
Yeah, no, we're up here, man. We started at the bottom, now we're here, right?
I love it. It looks so good.
I wish
Got
I
our stuff ordered. It's gonna take until after the new year to get it put up, all of our outside
It's
signs.
such a game changer. Like such a game changer.
Is that your guy?
Yes, that's my guy. Hi, look how cute he is. He's like the cutest. I know. I was told around, I was like, he's gonna be friends with me. He doesn't know it yet.
Hey, plus you can hit this too, man, because it's gonna be in here the next. So you know, they got the Paul and Paul.
The what?
Sue and Paul. They're hitting all over the mall. You gotta find it, take pictures of it, post it on their website. It's gonna be in here from the 19th to the 24th. They're gonna be in here.
I have a request. Can we get a cutout? I told Brian, I said, we need a little cutout of all of us and put it in the window, like The Rock. Where is The Rock? Did we leave The
It
Rock?
may still be downtown.
Is The Rock downtown?
I think you bought it. I don't know where you make it back there.
We should put The Rock in the window. I was like, we need a.
Right now they're in the library. If they find the elves, take a picture with them, post them on the mall, they get prizes and stuff in the mall.
Oh, that's fun.
They're gonna be here the 19th to the 24th, somewhere in the studio.
What's Outlaw's date?
29th. It's Easter weekend, what about it? 29th and 30th.
But yeah, it looks so good.
There you
So, Red Dirt Proud on the deal too? To vote for?
go. See what Katie showed you ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, we win, our station wins. We need to all go. Can we all go?
Did we get nominated?
Not station. KSLI, AM station, go figure.
Oh,
How's that? But anyway,
what about you? Where are you at?
large market on every first out.
Did you make it to second rounds?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. Yeah, because I was gonna say.
Where did they go and
or the
vote?
third.
Texas Regional, TRRMA.net.
Yeah, and you have to make like a count.
TRR what?
Oh, right here, it talks about it. TRRMA.net. Texas Regional Radio Music Awards.net.
Okay, here we go.
TRRMA. I'll find that chord for you, but I don't have it.
TRRMA. We're gonna get, yeah,
I got it up there.
Reggie needs to win.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack. We're rocking and rolling. Hey, we're down here at the mall. Hey, Sue and Paul are in the mall. Sue and Paul, two of Santa's elves, have arrived at the Mall of Abilene from the North Pole to spread some holiday cheer. Make sure to look for them when you come to the mall. Take a photo with them the best way you can without disturbing them and post it in the comments on the Mall of Abilene page for a chance to win a holiday prize. Make sure to like the Mall of Abilene Facebook page to find Sue and Paul's location every week. If you find them, snap your picture with them and post in the event for a chance to win a jolly gift. Now, turn the pages. Is there a little hint? Turn the pages. Turn the pages.
Ooh, we should find them and just take a ridiculously funny picture.
We can do that. We are on the loose for Sue and Paul. Sue and Paul in the mall. Not Sue, but Mark Powell. Mark Powell will be joining us on our Pest Patrol phone line. You heard their commercial, 673-6700. Call and text them to get the pest of your business or house. But again, the Country Giant is excited about Outlaws and Legends 2024. Dates are March 29th and 30th. We're going to call Mark toward the end of the show to talk about the big alignment announcement. Will be at 10 o'clock today, and we'll just get Mark's thoughts. Again, they've been Festival of the Year. Great job by him and Meredith and all the back porchers bringing that fest to us. Be year 13, I believe.
Yeah, so fun.
And we want to encourage you to go to TRRMA.net, Texas Regional Radio Music Awards.net. Create you a bronze account. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free to go out and vote for Outlaws and Legends for Festival of the Year. Greg Austin for Personality of the Year. And Red Dirt Proud is also up for Specialty Show. Appreciate them and the great music that they provide. So go vote for them. And also Potosi Live is up for Vineyard of the Year. Misty, I want to talk a little bit before we talking more about the upcoming Bills. Last week, the Kansas City Chiefs had a big game against those Buffalo Bills and lost 20-17. And in that game, we had a offensive offsides against Kadarius Toney that unfortunately took away probably one of the coolest plays that have ever happened. Kelsey catches it, tosses it to Toney. Toney runs it in, touchdown. Everything's great, but
Until it's not.
Very fitting color of Pest Patrol. Yellow flag was on the field, and it was brought back. And Patrick Mahomes, after the game, was complaining about, can't believe you call that. You get warned. We'd like to see the players decide the games, not the officials. Patrick Reed said something similar. Not Patrick Reed. Andy Reid. Reed's a golfer that would have said a lot more. The next day, Patrick Mahomes comes back out and says, he shouldn't have said that, all these things. But what's your thought on should it have been called or should it have not been called?
I think that it was the right call. It's unfortunate, but it was blatantly obvious he was offsides. And yeah, normally the officials are courteous and they kind of give you a warning, whatever, hey, move your guy back, move back, whatever. But it was just so blatantly obvious that they had to call it. And yeah, that call does not happen. I think only 11 times this year has that been called. It is unfortunate because it was a great play. That highlight reel is going to be played for years to come. And then, womp, womp, flag, you're coming back. They lose to the Bills. Go Josh Allen. I do like the Chiefs too, but I was happy to see a Bills win because I am a huge Josh Allen fan and the Bills. But it was the right call. Like, Patty, Andy, I get it. You're upset and you're used to things going your way. You're like the entitled child and, you've won and proved yourself and all of that. But sit down, keep your mouth shut. He was offsides.
Well, and my other thing about that is, let's go back to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
There was a holding that was called on the Eagles. Was it a hold? 100%.
Right.
Could it have been maybe let go? Tonight, I'll be honest with you. I'm officiating a basketball game tonight. There's going to be calls that I miss. There's going to be calls.
You're not perfect. You're not
Believe it or not, I am not.
Official?
No, not at all. And trust me, I'm sure Coach Crabb and Coach Kilpatrick will let me know about it tonight. But there are calls that are missed, and there are calls that are made that, and I tell kids, and if you're listening, and we'll do knowing half the battle here in a minute, but there's going to be a call that I get completely wrong. There's calls in the NFL that are going to get completely wrong. But in basketball, that's why you can't have a dumb foul, because that dumb foul goes to your 5. And so if you do a ticky-tack foul that you get called, if you hammer somebody, which is obvious, 94 feet away from the basket, it still counts as 5. My point of all that is that call last year led them to a Super Bowl.
Right.
This call here did lead to a loss, but like Harry Douglas, I'm going back to Harry Douglas. He told us in the stands we were visiting, he said, "Did y'all see that?" Anyway, he goes, "My coach told me if I've got to tell you in the NFL, if I've got to coach you to line up on sides,
it's not hard, babe."
He goes, "We are in blank trouble."
Yeah, it's
Oh,
hard.
no. He said, "We don't stand a blanking chance."
Yeah, that's why it doesn't get called much, because
Right.
It's not hard
Well,
to line up.
And that's the thing. And again, every receiver, junior high, elementary, up to the NFL, run out there and point.
Yes.
And there was a video that went out that he pointed, but he did this and boom. It's kind of like driving through an intersection that nobody's there until somebody is there because you're used to doing it.
Yes.
He does this and come back. But at no point does he not look and see, man, I'm out of that football.
My head's over the line.
I mean, right now I'm at the other tip. I need to back at this tip. And doesn't back up. It was the right call. And I think what we're seeing is, and I know there's been a lot of talk about the lack of weapons, the drop passes that Patrick Mahomes and Tony's been a lot of that problem. And so the Chiefs are having to adjust some things. And right now, if
they're not used to.
And if things ended right now, they would have to do something they've not been able to do, and that's get to the Super Bowl without home field advantage.
Right.
And so that's why I've said all along, yes, back to what your question was about the Cowboys. Yes, I know they're on the AFC, but I think that the 49ers may be here, and I've got about as much offsides as Tony was with my gestures at those that are listening on the radio of separation from the Cowboys. But I don't think it's great because from a weapons perspective, Brandon Cooks is playing well, Ferguson's playing well. In all that, the I really believe there's anybody could represent the NFC or the AFC in the Super Bowl. It's wide open. I'm not real sure the Dolphins are that great. The Baltimore Ravens battled and had to have a punt return to beat the Rams last week. The Dolphins lose to the Titans last week. The Chiefs lose to a great Bills team who, again, the reason why I'm a little nervous, the Bills are back against the wall and they're swinging like Draymond Green on trying to flop on a foul. They're trying to do whatever they can to stay in this thing. But last week's was interesting. The Bears beating the Lions, or the Lions, again, I've said it. Can the Lions get used to having success? It's kind of like if you're not used to having a bunch of money, you spend it a lot.
Yeah.
If you're not used to
You Johnny football that.
if you're not used to having success, you don't know how to handle it. And so the Lions are doing that.
Try.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
willing
give it
to
a whirl.
volunteer to try if I can handle.
I may go down swinging like Draymond, but I would give it a whirl.
I think I could handle, spending that kind of money. I'm definitely willing to try. I'm not a quitter.
So what do you feel about the Chiefs?
I think that the Chiefs, this next game, who do they play next? Who's on their schedule? I'm trying to think. I just drew a blank.
The Chiefs play the Patriots next.
Okay, the Patriots. I mean, obviously that should be a win for them. But I think how they come back from this is going to be very telling. Is this going to just kind of stop them in their tracks? Can they get over it and Draymond Green this and kind of fight back? I don't know. They're not the. This is kind of a hard question for me because before they would have been my Super Bowl pick. I don't see them there right this second, the way that they're playing. So I could be wrong, but it's almost like they're spiraling a little bit. The chemistry seemed off the last few games. I don't know. I'm not really high on the Chiefs right now, which is not normal.
Well, and right now the Chiefs are starting to having to look back and see that Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos are We paused there for a possible little weather breakout. Didn't get the rest of that. Hey, it's good to know that if the weather's going to come, we're ready for it, Misty. And the weather is coming for the Dallas Cowboys in Buffalo this week. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. I want to do knowing is half the battle real quick. I know Josh isn't here, but I want to give you some insight, folks. Maybe you're on your way to Arlington today to watch the state championship games, or maybe you've got plans to watch a game tonight or a concert. My knowing is half the battle is know when to get up and know when to go in front of people during a game. If the game is mid-play, do not start walking and asking, can I go to my seat while the game's going on? Have a clue.
Game day etiquette.
There was a number of times at AT&T, at the Cowboy game and at the high school state championship games, where people just start walking. The only one that should have a clue not to know that is a kid. But when adults start going, oh, I'm sorry, can I get through? Can I get through? And the play is happening.
Yeah, no, you can't get through.
No, just wait.
Wait 2
you
seconds.
can tell. Kickoff, like right after a touchdown. Boom, move people around, go sit down. Don't go right in the middle of the play when you know everything that needs to be seen is going to be behind you. That happened a number of times. So knowing is half the battle. Know when to go down an aisle and know when to get up, when to sit down, when not to. But that wore me out this week. I'm not going to lie.
Did you say anything to any of these people?
In my head, I did. I just didn't know how to say it. And I thought, could I take advantage of the knowing is half the battle and educate them?
Right.
Hey, why did you pick now? Can you tell me? Can you tell me why you picked now? Now, if you've got kids and you're just ready to get their tail set down, that might be an excuse because I don't have kids, but I'm assuming when y'all's kids drive me crazy, I know what it's like. So I can't imagine what your kids do when they drive you crazy.
Yes.
That may be an exception. There was one guy that was walking up and down the aisle, but he had a kid that had probably go to the restroom and brought back. That was fine. But the kid that just keeps playing, the kid wants to play, and I know you want to watch a game, you're going to have to take that to the foyer.
See, and I'm like, if they're too young, why are you even bringing them? Like, why
Because the
are you?
babysitter failed.
Right,
Babysitter
and I
failed.
get that. I mean, you know, but it's like, why? Because you're now ruining my experience because of
Oh,
your screaming
100%.
2-year-old.
Yes, 100%. So anyway, no one has the battle. If you're going to AT&T today, the rest of the week, know when to get up. Kind of like Kenny Rogers says, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to get up, know when not to walk in front of people during a football game, a concert, any kind of game. Knowing is half the battle. We'll be back with more Hodge Pack right after this. Yeah, it was wearing me out. People just walking through. I'm like, what are you doing? Do you not know the game is behind you?
Yeah, I know that. That would wear me out. It's kind of like bowling, like, you know, bowling etiquette. Like when I'm up there and about to go, and then like somebody has no clue and they just like zoom past you. I'm like, oh, you just messed up my perfect game by jacking with me. So that drives me crazy. Again, if you're a kid, but like teach your kids etiquette for all the things. Yeah, that would have worn me out. I'm kind of surprised that you didn't and go ahead and say something. Like, what are you doing?
Well, and like,
would you spend your life savings? Did you make that a hotkey or whatever you were gonna do when we were talking about the Alabama and oh my gosh.
Well, I tried to.
MSU.
What I spend my would you spend a lot?
Savings. That was so funny.
I tried to make it. And it just pissed me off.
Yeah, we need like those little liners, those little one-liners. So funny, so we can run a promo because that really was funny. All right, so we're here. We got that. We got one more we'll call Mark.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. The Potosi Live team will make sure you have an experience that you're going to tell your friends about. Okay, what are we talking about today or next? Live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pair. Can't crazy kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame.
I'm trying to see.
Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Law Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Sharon Love. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out.
I mean, and we could do NFL power rankings.
I want you to know we really appreciate your business.
Oh.
And are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices.
Oh my God.
We have updated our menu, bringing back all the favorites like nachos, fajitas, and adding more small plates for light appetizers. So what's this? I want to hear you say.
Yum, yum. I bet that Sue and Paula are by the library.
They are.
I bet they are? I was just sitting here thinking where they were. I was like, okay, turn the page. They've got to be somewhere by the library or in the library.
Are the gears slowing you down more than you wish? And do you like the stamina, the sexual prowess, and the energy that you had when you were younger?
Oh my gosh. There should be some carolers, like not only mall walkers, but carolers. I'm shutting this. This is so nice of them. These little weenies look good. I'm not gonna eat it
Eat
though.
some.
I'm not eating one of them though.
All right, so we're going to preview this week's stuff.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack. Hey, want to remind you, head over to our Facebook page for our College Bowl Pick'em. Bowls start tomorrow, so you want to be sure you get that in. We're going to give away $100 to our winner and a Hodge Pack prize pack. So be sure you go over to our Facebook page, the Hodge Pack Facebook page. The link's there to go and enter our College Bowl Pick'em. Cost you nothing. Go pick. Can you beat Hodge, Misty, or Josh, and the rest of the crew that is playing in our College Bowl Pick'em for a chance to win $100 and a Hodge Pack prize package. Misty, we're heading into week 15 of the NFL season. Last night, 63-21, the Los Angeles Chargers go down to the Oakland Raiders, 63-21. I'm going to keep looking at Twitter. I keep waiting for the breaking news of Brandon Staley to be gone. But this week, Misty, we head into this week with some big games. Of course, the game of the week is 325 for us is the Cowboys and Bills, where you can hear right here on 106.9 the Country. You're a fan of both these teams. How do you see this week? And let me ask you this, in honor of our College Bowl Pick'em, if you had to have a top four right now, if it was the NFP, the National Football Playoff, who would be your top four?
49ers, Cowboys. Are we just saying like this week?
Yeah,
Or
if this was the weekly show, you had to pick your top four for this week.
Yeah, when I think about like power rankings for this week, I would throw the Ravens in there. And
so right now you got 49ers, Ravens,
Cowboys, and I'm gonna go Bills.
So I think for the Bills, I think they would fall into a weekly.
Yeah.
We got into the power rankings this
I'm
weekend.
thinking weekly. Yeah,
because they're playing
weekly.
well. They found a way to beat
Yep.
the Eagles. They beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to find a way to scrap into the playoffs.
What about you?
I would go the San Francisco 49ers, the Ravens, the Cowboys. And even though I think they're still, because they have Patrick Mahomes, and yes, they lost and they're an offsides away, I probably still have the Chiefs in there as well.
Yeah, I was going to put them in.
Because you can't eliminate that they do have Andy Reid and they do
absolutely.
have Patrick Mahomes.
Still a powerhouse.
So before we call Mark Powell and talk about Outlaws and Legends, let's talk about Sunday's game. Again, you can hear it right here on 106.9. The Country Giants, the Dallas Cowboys head to the Buffalo Bills. A big game that we'll be watching this week will be the Seahawks and the Eagles. We'd love for the Seahawks to find a way, who are trying to battle their way into a playoff spot. Would love to see them find a way to beat the Eagles. A lot of cluster in some other divisions. But what do you see this week? We don't do our pick'ems anymore because of the college football and all that stuff. But enter the bowl pick'em. What do you see this week with the Cowboys and the Bills?
I'm really looking forward to this game. I think that the Bills are going to be coming off of a high. Also, the Cowboys. I think this could be a tit for tat game. I think. Do we know what the weather is going to be this weekend? But that's obviously a factor. Anytime that
it's going to be cold and possibly rainy.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a factor. We're just not as good on the road. We're not as good in that type of environment weather-wise. We're going to have to play just as hard as we did against the Eagles in order to beat the Bills at home, with them coming off the win against the Chiefs and the momentum that they'll be carrying this week.
Yeah, I do. I think the thing that I want to see out of this is, one, can you play on the road? B, can you play in weather? Because there's a chance, if things ended today, we would be going to, I believe, still Atlanta we'd be going to Atlanta for the playoff game. So that's a climate-controlled place. But from then on out, you're going to be on the road most likely, having to win a playoff game unless the Eagles get help. Because right now, the Eagles lead the tiebreaker to where we would not be the division champs. But if we can get Seattle, go Seahawks this week, and maybe that could help. Or the Giants. Tommy DeVito is playing really well.
Yes.
But this week, what I want to be able to see is that the Cowboys can run the football and maybe have to run between the tackles. And the other thing is I think this may be a game where, does Dak have to play amazing? Probably not.
I mean, the Bills are not the Eagles.
But the Bills, from a defensive standpoint,
But they're still a good team.
Is that I think we could score on them. I think where we're going to need to be sure is stop the run on our end defensively and create opportunities. Not turn the ball over. Dak's done a good job. Yes, he had the fumble last week that just hold on to it. But
our D has been so good. They're going to be lights out again against the Bills.
I think they just take care of the football. But the reason, again, this is the next level for them to go back to what you asked, to prove themselves to the committee, if you will.
Yeah. That'd be a huge road win.
Big win, because then you're going to go to Miami the next week, who the Miami Dolphins got the Jets coming to town, who the Jets had a big win last week. And so the Dolphins are still trying to battle. They're all trying to battle for that bye, and they want the bye. And so the Dolphins will be taking on the Jets, and then you got the Dolphins trying to bounce back from their loss. So your next two games, and of course the Detroit Lions still battling. Their division's going to be fine. But so my point of it is this weekend, I think it's huge for the Cowboys to find a way to. It's almost like I'm trying to prove you. No, really, I do love you. No, really, I am this good. I am who I say I am. But the Cowboys are really Rodney Dangerfield, and they're still having to find a way to earn respect.
Yeah, it's getting better. I think that whenever they saw this gauntlet of the 5 games that we had, a lot of haters, a lot of doubters out there thought, yeah, there's no way. Seahawks kind of catapulted us, and then obviously the win against the Eagles was huge. So yeah, we've got 2 more, and we've got to take care of business. And then I think some of the conversations will change, but I think if you've ever been a Cowboys fan and you know the history, there's still something in the back of your mind as a Cowboys fan that's like, ooh, I don't know.
Well, I think your big deal is until you get to the place where I can't prove it until it happens.
Right.
But I can continue. It's kind of like Draymond Green is going to have to prove to the Warriors that he can be trusted again, or a kid that snuck out of the house and is trying to earn their parents' trust again. That's what the Cowboys are kind of doing right now. They're trying to earn that trust, and they can get a big step that week if they can find a way to come away from Buffalo and come back to Texas and come back to the Star with a W, beating the Bills, because again, they are going to be they're in the back of the wall. They're in the back. They're grabbing anything, and they're trying to hit you and fight their way.
It could be a bloodbath
back into the playoff picture, because right now they are out of it. And so I think this is going to be a huge opportunity for the Cowboys. And again, you can listen to it right here on 106.9, The Country Giant. When we come back, Mark Powell, Outlaws and Legends, lineup reveal today. We'll be back right after this. All right, I'm going to put it on. If you got questions for Mark. Here. All right, Mark. Q.
Your laptop, TV, mobile phone, or devices. You might say your Touchstone Energy cooperatives in the business of keeping you connected to everyone and everything that's essential. Day or night, we're always here, making life easier. Because when all is said and done, of all the connections we make, more powerful than a human connection.
Were you working there when Mark was there?
Uh-huh. I was his assistant like way back when, but not for very long, because then he wasn't at our bank very long. A couple years maybe.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, dude?
Oh, no, we're just at some commercials, fixing to come back, and Misty Collier and I will be ready to talk some Outlaws.
All right.
What's up, Mark?
What's up?
Not much. Waiting on 5 o'clock. You know, banker's hours on a Friday.
There you go.
So 20th, 29th, and 30th, correct? Okay. Outlawsandlegends.com is where they can find all the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. And we'll just talk about the fest. This is 13, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Thanks.
And line up at 10 a.m. Okay, perfect. All right. This is the last commercial, and we'll rock and roll it.
Sweet.
Saw you were coaching though, teaching the kids how to play basketball.
Oh man, yeah. Watching Macy's, like I would rather like shoot a meat axe, you know. But Hayden's doing pretty good though.
Cool. All right, we're coming back. Well, welcome back to the Hodge Pack Sports Life and everything in between. That you hear our music, little "What I Do," brought to you by the guy that played it. Is joining us on our Pest Patrol phone line, Mark Powell, getting ready for Outlaws and Legends number 13. It's crazy to think. I'm sure he thought when he started this thing where it is today. But Mark, I appreciate you joining us this morning. Well, I appreciate it, Mark. And again, you started this thing 13 years ago, had a little hiccup with Rona, then bounced back big right after and hadn't slowed down. Fest of the year. And again, don't forget, you can go to Fest of the go to trrma.net and vote for Outlaws and Legends for Fest of the Year again. And so, Mark, talk a little bit about, I know it takes a lot and getting ready. The lineup reveal today at 10 o'clock, people can get ready for, but what excites you about where it is, where it's going in 2024?
We always try to build it better every year, and we try to make it integrated with the community, of course. And some of that, a lot of it is, getting back to boys ranch. And the other thing is we try to keep it, especially the focus this year is we're really trying to, prevent the fest is like a big giant family, and we're listening to kind of a lot of people, but also trying not to break stride like this year and keep it kind of the same way it started, which, kind of have a vibe, a long time ago, and then trying to keep super quality and kind of in line with the whole nature of the fest. And so, this year I believe that, we really try to think what would be really cool, top to bottom, both ways, sit up in a chair, and be able to see just non-stop, just great, solid, country music. So I think we did it this year.
Well, and of course, I tell you all the time, I get excited for this time, like it's the reveal of when those college kids start to pick what college they're going to, and the anticipation. I look forward to it every year. And talk about your family. You and Meredith. Of course, you're always either building something or adding something. But talk about how just the people that help make this happen. Of course, Ben Ritchie Boys Ranch been beneficial from it as well. But just about how the family, you mentioned it a little bit, but just the backbone of folks like Meredith behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of fingers in it, and we're grateful for everybody. I mean, as you know, the sponsor side is very big too, and Taylor Electric's been on for probably the longest, and then there's Gory Beverage. Some of these companies like that really do a lot, but Marathon started building that place once the first year
Well, and it has been, and of course, you brought some legends. Of course, it's Outlaws and Legends, Willie Nelson, and of course, Merle. I always joke with Mark. I said, "Man, could you imagine if you were about 20 years older and had the opportunity, the people that unfortunately have passed away that would have been at this fest?" But it's just such a great, it's such a great experience. And of course, that's what we love about 106.9, playing, playing the music that people can hear out there. And of course, music has just been Texas music and music in general has just been such a staple of good music because it's always singing about stuff that people can relate to. And just real quick before we're gonna end this show with a great tune that you'll know here in a minute, but talk a little bit about just what's next for you, kind of what's going on in your world right now, music wise.
Oh yeah, a lot happening. Right now, just living in a cabin in the woods. You know, got no place up to live out. Just during this time, about to go right back to the ranch and then Abilene build some more stuff and what have you. But in the meantime, get a little affiliation with RCA and we've got some new songs and go down to Houston and cut eight other new songs down there at Stormy's place. And all of this is kind of new music for me. I'm super excited about that. And then, yeah, and part of the reason for that is, up here in Colorado, we get some people that are great songwriters and artists, and they come up, and then we work on writing songs all summer for the most part. So I quit touring as much during that time. I have them all come here and we do pop-up shows, but we also write. And so, this year, gosh, I think we ended up with around 8 or 9 cuts for other artists. And then my stuff, we ended up with about 12 there. And so, yeah, we kind of do that. We switch gears, go right back down to the ranch, and then play the songs we've been working on and record them.
And for before we know it, March 29th will be here. Be sure you head over to outlawsandlegends.com, get your tickets. Be ready. The reveal, where can they see it? On social media is where the reveal will be at 10 o'clock today.
Yeah, y'all check it out. It'll be on Instagram under Outlaws and Legends, and then also, of course, Facebook. And right at 10 a.m. As long as there's no glitches and any of that social media stuff is I'm real bad at. But check that out, and then immediately the website will show the complete times of everybody and the artist that tickets are always live from the homepage at outlawsandlegends.com. And as far as what we're sold out at 78 Music Pros, first go to our leagues, and some of them do have like a couple of Sundays left, things like. And then we do have a couple, just a little amount of 4-day and 3-day RV passes, but they get all that from the ticket link. We're keeping early now pricing until the 18th, which will turn off at 10 a.m. So everybody's got 72 hours between now and Monday morning to snag them for a little cheaper. But all in all, we can keep our prices as absolutely cheap as possible. Like festivals, they start at 200 and go up. We $50 a ticket, so it's about as cheap as you can possibly get. And we try to get it to where everybody can come and bring the family a good time.
Well, Mark, I appreciate you again taking time to join us this morning on the Hodge Pack. Again, 10 o'clock artist reveal lineup. Be sure you get over to outlawsandlegends.com. We're going to head off into the weekend with Mark Powell's latest song, Legend. Mark, appreciate you. Love you, buddy. All right, that's Mark Powell. Outlaws and Legends will be kicking off 10 o'clock. Don't forget, get that lineup ready. We'll be back next week. Josh will be here. We'll find out how big of a deer he shot or if he was just joking and was hanging out. See you next week, guys. Thanks, buddy.
No, man, appreciate it.
All right, man. And well, hey, holler at me when you're back in town. All right, see you, buddy. All right, bye. See y'all. Y'all have a great week.